All praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Wabrakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like. Pushing out this purified truth to the rest of the church who believe as well. You men who may not be teachers or prophets, you women, sons, and daughters as well. And the water to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel alone, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. The mind is a very weighty place. So the things that you reflect on, the things that you concentrate on, it can become like your reality, so to speak. See, when you listen to brothers' videos, brothers who are in the spirit, brothers speak on how if you're in this truth, if you're on this walk, if you're on this journey to salvation, this lonely path to salvation, you will catch hell. You will go through things. There is a lot of bitter that comes with being in this truth. And as we say these things, we say it so much to hammer in the point that it may become all you think about. Catching hell, catching hell, catching hell, catching hell. More hell's coming, more hell, right? We don't want to be like that so much to where we get worn down and the mind so beat down in the spirit that it's not really benefiting you in this walk, because this truth comes with honey along with the bitter. Just as it's not always sweet, it's not always bitter. But when you listen to certain brothers teach, they teach as if this truth is only bitter because you go through so much hell. And that will cause you to want to focus on the negative all the time. Although catching hell in this truth is for our benefit. Let's touch on the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 14. Let go from the mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. When you're thinking about catching hell all the time, when you're thinking about what you're going through, when you're thinking about what you could be going through, all you're thinking about is catching hell. That can become such a burden to you, and it can make you weak in this truth. You have to set those thoughts to the side. Yeah, we understand. We are in this truth to be tested, to be afflicted, to be chastened. But the balance of that is the Lord rewards us. Not only is he going to reward us if we endure until the end, but the Lord rewards us now. The Lord gives us things now. You know, sometimes it may feel like being in this truth. You're just in this truth only to catch hell, and that's not true. Okay, the hell just comes with the temptations and the trials to test us. But Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is fair in his doings. If all we did was catch hell, how in the hell would we ever have the opportunity to set aside any mortal thought, seeing that's all we go through is hell and burdens? Okay? Because if all you catch is hell, then maybe you're being afflicted, or, okay, maybe because you set your mind on catching hell so much, okay, you draw that type of spirit to you. Because see, we're going to catch hell whether we're in this truth or whether we're in the world. It's just the hell is different when you're in this truth. But don't let that weaken your mind. Don't let that weaken you in the spirit to where you're acting, you know, like you don't want to be in this truth no more, because you're just tired of catching hell. You're tired of hearing about hell, right? It can get old, man. But you have to set aside those thoughts. You can't just constantly think about catching hell. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. So set aside thoughts that are most heavy unto thee. Set aside your afflictions, things that afflict your mind. Set aside what you could be going through or what you went through. Okay? We know we are going to catch hell in this truth. And it's important that we stress that point. But that's not all you get in this truth. Brothers have to learn to rejoice. Brothers have to learn to be happy. The reason why we do what we do, the reason why we teach, is because we believe it. And through our belief, we keep our mind at ease. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 13. We having the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believed, and therefore have I spoken. We also believe, and therefore speak. We speak this gospel, we teach the truth because we believe, and we're hoping to wake up the elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth with the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, which in reality, we're not doing anything, the Lord's doing it. But the Lord is using us. We're just hoping that as he uses us, we could be a useful tool. Our belief should be strong enough that although we're going to catch hell, we should be in the spirit of joy. We should be in the spirit of mirth, even in our afflictions, even in our chastenings. Now, that doesn't mean you're just going to walk around smiling all the time. That doesn't mean, you're going to, act as if you're not catching hell through every trial and affliction you go through. But you have to consider that the hell, although it comes with this truth, we shouldn't just focus and zoom in on the hell that we are catching or the hell that we could catch, because it can weigh you down. You have to set aside those kind of thoughts, man. It gets to a point where it's not really beneficial to just constantly think about, being afflicted. That's all you think about. You have to, have the spirit of belief to where even when you're being afflicted, you can still rejoice. We having the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believed and therefore have I spoken. We also believe and therefore speak. Let's jump to the book of 1 Peter. Chapter 1. Let's see. Okay, I'll start at 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 6. Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations. So through the manifold temptations comes the heaviness. That heaviness becomes what you think about. Those are those thoughts you have to set to the side, because those thoughts will just eat at you and eat at you. And it can get to a point where you don't become as useful in this ministry. You fall into deep depression. You don't want to talk. All of these things can come just from having the mentality of always thinking about hell. And then when you go through the hell on top of thinking about it, it adds more heaviness through all the temptations. But you have to learn to rejoice. You have to learn to keep the spirit of rejoicing as much as we talk about the hell that we catch. Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season. So the hell that we catch is only for a season. It's only for a season because when Yahweh Shai returns, all this is over. And on a lower level, it's also only for a season because when you go through something, it doesn't last forever. You might go through a rough day. That day is not a eternity. You might go through a rough week. That week's not an eternity. Okay? So the things that we go through, they're temporal. But concentrating on the afflictions and the heaviness all the time, it can choke out your fruitfulness. All right. That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So we're being tried with fire. That fire goes into the afflictions. It goes into the hell that we catch. It's a part of our trial, but we should still have the spirit of rejoicing. Because when you're going through the fire and all you think about is the fire you're going through, or the fire you went through, or the fire you may go through, okay, it can throw you into just a real unfruitful spirit. Because now all you're doing is moping and complaining, to where it's like now you're not even really doing nothing but complaining. Okay? Whom having not seen ye love, in whom though now ye see him not, yet believing ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory. So that's the spirit we have to be in. Yeah, we're going to catch hell. Yeah, we're going to be tested. But we have to have the spirit of rejoicing because we believe. We teach because we believe. We rejoice because we believe. And that belief should be strong enough to where, although we catch hell, okay, we still have the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai within us, okay, to keep our battery going, so to speak, to not fall into such a deep depression to where now it's like, okay, maybe I should just leave the truth. I can't go through this no more. We don't want to be like that. Okay. So with the hell, we have to remember, we have to consider that's not all the Lord gives us. That is not what's going to happen. In this truth, you will catch a lot of hell. You will go through a lot of hell. But the Lord is not only going to put you through hell. The Lord will reward you openly. The Lord will reward you secretly. The Lord will reward you with things that may not even necessarily be tangible, but the Lord rewards us all the time. And seeing that we're in a world right now that's full of darkness, we, hoping to be the hopeful elect, we're bringing light to the world. And seeing that we're bringing light to the world, how can we bring light to the world if all we do is walk around in the spirit of moping and complaining and just feeling like, oh, my life, my life, my life. Woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. So I'm going to go ahead and close it there, through all this that we go through. Smile, like that song Tupac said, with Tupac featuring Scarface, or Scarface featuring Tupac. The song was called Smile. And Tupac even made a statement. He was like, nigga, you black. Smile for me now. Well, we Israelites, smile. Be happy, rejoice. Because you're not the only one catching hell. Guess what? Those who have no reward coming are even catching hell. It's just that our hell is a little more different. It can seem a little more strange, right? But nevertheless, it's for our glory. Okay? Verse 9, I'll stop it here. Receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls. So I'm going to go ahead and close it there. I'm going to give all thanks and praises unto our power. Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Warakak Wadash. Lord willing, this was simple and edifying. Until my next lesson, Lord willing, Shalom.